I'd like to show you one of the outputs I have been working on in my code window, this section over here for causes for off-task activities. What I've used some if-then statements in my scripting here to make a graph. So if you go back to my code, one of the rows is going to be that the student engages in off-task activities, and that's one of the reasons for not working. Based on some of the videos I've already looked at, there are three primary reasons why the student engages in off-task activities. Sometimes they're fiddling with objects. It could be anything from the wrong materials to just their pencil. They might be looking at somebody else's work and therefore off-task and not working. Or they may be distracted by something in the room. Those are the three primary reasons we came up with. And so far we haven't had the need to add another. I could always add another one later. So as you code those things, within this row, there will be text labels, and there'll be a number of them. Every time I click one of these, which activates this row, that label will be applied in this row. So what I did was I calculated a total number of all of these things happening, and just a number for each one of these things individually. And I created a percentage. So out of all of these reasons for distractions, out of the total number of distractions there were, how many of them or what percent were because of fiddling, what percent was because of looking at another's work, and what percent was because they were distracted. And I think this is important to know when we're writing up some of the qualitative piece. I can take a quick look at any video I've coded, and using what I created over here, which I'll show you in just a second, I'll be able to take a quick peek as to any trends that I might see. If I'm constantly seeing the highest percentages over here, then in the fiddles with objects, then that is a conclusion I might be able to draw. So I have over here where I'm going to present the actual percentages, but also I've made a graph, and I've used if-then statements in each one of these. So I'm going to click here. So for fiddles with objects, let me show you. If I double click here, you can see what's in my scripting window. First of all, I made three main variables: fiddle, look, and distract, to represent each of these three things. Okay, where I'm just simply counting the number of instances where the number of times those text labels are found in that row. So I have one for each, and then I made a total where I just added the three up, and then I created a percent. So for this particular box over here, it's just about fiddling, so it's fiddling out of the total times 100 will give me a percent. Now, in the box, I don't need any words. I just need the box to change colors. What I did was it at a certain percentage. So I actually made, this could get more complicated than I did. I made 20 little boxes here, which means for every 5%, one of these boxes would change color. I could have done for every 1% and been very specific, but I would have needed 100 boxes to do that. I thought that was unnecessary for a quick glance at this graph. So what I have is if the percentage that I've calculated up here is greater than or equal to 5, so 5%, then the button color is going to change. I've set this color over here using, I forgot the name for this format for colors. And the way I was able to do that, there's a digital color meter on Macs. So any kind of color I point to, it'll tell me the R, G, and B percentages, which is how I have to put them in this if-then statement. So those are what I came up with for this teal color. And then the second comma represents what the button color will be. It's this gray color if it does not meet those conditions. So in each box, as I click through them, you'll see the only thing that's changed is I'm going to change it to 10% in this box, and then 15%, then 20, and then 25. So you can see it's changing right in here each time as I click through. The next row, it's almost exactly the same thing. It sounds like this would take a lot of time, but I did it fairly quickly. Within about 20-25 minutes, I set this whole thing up, and that included times to look up at the scripts and figure out exactly how I had to write them. Copy-paste is a wonderful thing. So if I go down here, most things are the same. I have the same variables, only I just changed the percent this time to the look row, so looking at another's work. And then instead I changed the color over here to a pink color. And then I just copy-pasted for the rest of the row, just changing what the percentage value is that it would change. So that's a lot of talking. Let me show you this in action. I'm going to open up, I picked a random video to code just a second ago, and I did not code it accurately. I just grabbed a video and I just started clicking buttons So using these and some other things, just so we can actually, I can execute this for you and you can see it. So when I hit execute, it's going to calculate the percentages for me and present them over here. And it's going to fill this out like a bar graph so I can see which reason was the most common. So let's hope, fingers crossed, I did this right. If I hit execute, there it is. I have a really nice bar graph going on right here where it gives me the percentage of reasons and causes for these off-task activities that the students were engaging in.